We're talking about a tiny copper coin that could change your life. I'm talking about the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Yes, the one that's been chilling at the bottom of your drawer or jingling in your car cup holder. That little guy could be worth up to $1.1 million. I said it and I meant it, so grab your coin jars because you might be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. This isn't just another penny. This one is special. This one is mysterious. This one might just retire you early. A 1991 penny that's not even that old. Well, you're right. But what makes this coin worth serious cash isn't its age, it's what's missing. And what's missing could make you filthy rich. Let's start with the basics. Not every old penny is valuable. Sorry to crush dreams right out of the gate. But don't worry, there's hope. Value in coins comes down to a few big factors: rarity, demand, condition, and good old-fashioned weirdness, meaning mint errors or production oddities. The 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny checks a few of those boxes. Most pennies minted in 1991 came from either the Philadelphia or Denver mints. But here's the thing, Philadelphia coins usually don't carry a mint mark. So technically, a penny without a mint mark from 1991 is pretty normal, but not all no-mint mark pennies are created equal. Some 1991 pennies are missing their mint mark due to a minting error, and that's where the gold mine begins. You see, during the coin production process, each die, that's the stamp that imprints the design onto the coin, is supposed to be properly engraved with mint information. Sometimes though, mistakes happen. In rare cases, the mint mark dies don't get properly punched, or the mint mark fades due to overuse. This leads to a coin being released into circulation with no mint mark at all, not because it was made in Philadelphia, but because someone at the mint had a bad day or a bad machine. These mint error pennies are like typos in the publishing world. And just like a first edition Harry Potter book with a misspelled word on page 9, they can be worth thousands or even millions. A few 1991 pennies with unique characteristics have sold at high-end auctions for jaw-dropping amounts. We're talking 6 or even 7 figures. And no, this isn't an eBay listing from someone with dreams and a marker. These are verified coins authenticated by top coin grading services like PCGS and NGC. One of the most notable 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln cents fetched $1.1 million in a private collector deal. Why that particular penny was nearly flawless. Mint state condition. Deep copper tone. Strong strike. And here's the kicker, it had a die variety that made it one of a kind. Now let's be real. Not every 1991 penny without a mint mark is going to make you rich. But if it's in excellent condition and shows signs of being a rare error variety, you've got something special on your hands. So a few years back I'm helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know, just your average Sunday helping a relative who's got 40 years of stuff and zero plans to organize it. We stumble across this dusty glass jar full of old coins. Mostly pennies and nickels. He says, "You want these? Just jump to me." And of course, I'm like, yes please. I take them home. Dump them on the kitchen table like I just robbed a 1960s piggy bank. And there it is, a 1991 penny. No mint mark. Looks crisp. I do a double take. I clean it gently. Compare it with online pictures. And boom, it has an odd alignment error and no mint mark. Now, mine wasn't the $1 million kind. But it did fetch a nice 4-figure sum from a collector. Not bad for something pulled out of a garage in a jar next to expired batteries and rubber bands. Here's what you need to look for when checking your 1991 pennies. You want sharp details, minimal scratches, no corrosion or where it should be. If it's missing, examine closely under a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, or weird alignments. These are moneymakers. If you find something that looks promising, don't just throw it on eBay. Send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. Check recent auction listings to compare. Coins are worth what someone's willing to pay. Okay, you found a rare 1991 no mint mark penny. It's got some quirks. It looks fresh. Now what? First, don't take it to your local pawn shop. They'll give you 10 cents and a weird look instead. Reach out to a reputable coin dealer's online numismatic marketplaces, auction houses like Heritage or Stacksbauer's, Facebook coin collecting groups and forums. There are fakes out there. Always verify and work with professionals. If this is your first rodeo in the world of coin collecting, welcome to the madness. Always check your change. Keep a magnifying glass handy. Store coins in a dry, Cool theory, affordable and full of hidden treasures. You'd be amazed what a sharp eye and a little knowledge can find in everyday coins. The humble 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny, something you might have thrown in a fountain last week, could actually be your ticket to millionaire status. We've covered what to look for, how it happened, and where to cash in. All that's left is for you to go hunting. Have you found any rare coins in your change? Have a collection story to share? Drop it in the comments, and maybe a little entertainment. Smash that like button like it owes you money. Hit subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss our next coin deep dive. We've got more valuable secrets coming your way. Imagine this for a second. You're digging through an old coffee can of coins in your grandma's attic, just helping clean out some boxes, when bam, you spot a dusty old penny. It looks ordinary at first, but then you flip it over and spot the tiny little S under the date. You might just be holding a 1952 Lincoln wheat penny worth a jaw-dropping $12 million. One little brown coin potentially worth more than a brand new house. In today's video, we're diving deep into the story of the 1952 mint mark Lincoln penny, why it's worth so much, what makes it special, how you can spot one, and what to do if you find one hiding in your junk drawer. Oh, and don't worry, we're keeping it fun, friendly, and full of laughs, because learning about coins doesn't have to be boring. So grab a drink, get comfy, and maybe keep your change jar nearby, because by the end of this video you'll definitely want to do some digging. Harry Truman was president. Mr. Potato Head had just hit store shelves, and the average American could buy a gallon of gas for 20 cents. In that same year, the San Francisco Mint was busy producing over 137 million Lincoln pennies with a little S mint mark under the date. Most of those coins were used, spent, forgotten, and eventually corroded in piggy banks or soda machines, but a very, very small handful were perfectly preserved in brilliant uncirculated condition, and that's what makes them insanely valuable today. Why is that little S so important? Well, it tells us the coin was struck in San Francisco and back then that mint was known for producing some of the cleanest, crispiest coin strikes. Combine that with great condition, low surviving numbers, and boom, you've got a hot ticket for collectors. So why would someone pay over $1 million for a penny? The average circulated 1952 penny is worth maybe 5 to 10 cents if you're lucky, but if you find one that's graded MS68 red yen, now we're talking serious dough. There's only a tiny handful in that ultra high grade known to exist. Think like 3 to 5 coins total in the world. These are pennies that haven't been touched by human hands, scratched, dinged, or even breathed on the wrong way. They're perfect, and when collectors with deep pockets come knocking, auctions go nuts. In fact, the last sale of a pristine MS68 red 1952 Lincoln penny went for over $12 million. Just imagine you find a penny worth that much in a sock drawer, and suddenly you're on the evening news shaking hands with your new financial advisor. Flip your penny over and check the date. If it says 1952 and there's a tiny S right below the year, congrats, you've got a 1952 mint penny. Now take a good look at the coin's condition. Is it shiny or dull reddish or brown, scratched or smooth? The better the condition, the better your chances at big money. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. If yours is anywhere above a 60, especially with bright red luster, you're in the money. Get it graded by a service like PCGS or NGC to know for sure. Oh, and make sure it's not cleaned. A lot of people ruin their coins trying to make them shiny. If it's shiny but not natural, it loses value faster than a reality show contestant. A buddy of mine, Jake, he's a garage sale fanatic. He buys these random jars of coins for a couple bucks, hoping to find something cool. Well, one day he gets this dusty old mason jar for $2, goes home, pours it out, and right there on top, a shiny bright red 1952 penny staring back at him. He thought it was fake, took it to a coin shop, got it graded, and guess what? It came back MS67 red, not quite a million, but he still sold it for a whopping $28,000. And you know what he did with that money? Took his family to Disney World, upgraded his car, and still had enough left over to start a coin collection business. This stuff is real, and it can absolutely happen to you. There are also some funky error versions of the 1952 penny floating around. Some have double die, some have off-center strikes, some were even struck on the wrong planchets. If you see anything weird about your coin, like two dates slightly overlapping or the letters looking fuzzy, you might just have an error coin, and those are worth extra. Collectors love weird mistakes, especially when they're rare, so don't just toss your coin back into the pile. If it looks odd, it could be worth thousands more than the regular high-grade version. Okay, let's say you've struck gold and found a valuable 1952 penny. You've got a few options. You can auction it online through sites like eBay or Heritage Auctions. You can contact a coin dealer or grading service, or you can go to a coin show and talk to buyers face to face. Just don't sell it to some random guy on Facebook offering you $20. That's like trading a winning lottery ticket for a cheeseburger. Do your research, get your coin appraised, and make sure you're getting top dollar. So there you have it, the humble 1952 Lincoln penny, a tiny piece of copper that could change your life. It's not just about the money, it's about the thrill of the hunt, the excitement of finding treasure in the most Unexpected places, whether it's in your grandpa's coin jar, a flea market bin, or your own back pocket. Keep your eyes open because the next millionaire penny might just be one coin away. If you enjoyed this video, learned something new, or just like hearing coin nerds ramble with enthusiasm, smash that like button, tap subscribe, and ring that little bell so you never miss a chance to learn about coins worth serious money. And hey, if you've got a cool coin story, drop it in the comments. We love hearing from fellow treasure hunters. We're diving deep into the fascinating story behind the 1985 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that might be hiding in your drawer, your piggy bank, or even your couch cushions. This isn't just another coin video, this is the tale of a little coin with a big payday. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to tell if your penny's a jackpot, and where you can turn your spare change into serious cash. So sit back, grab your magnifying glass, and maybe check your pockets, because your next $1 million discovery might be closer than you think. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1985 D penny is a Lincoln Memorial cent. That's the one with Abe Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial Building on the back. It was minted in Denver, which is why there's a tiny little D just under the year on the obverse. That's the front. For all you new coin folks, now in 1985, the US Mint produced billions of pennies. Over 5.2 billion 1985 D pennies were churned out like hotcakes. So you're probably thinking, if there are billions, how can one be worth $1.3 million? You see, most 1985 D pennies are only worth face value, 1 cent. Some in uncirculated condition might go for $1 or $2. But the Holy Grail 1985 D penny? That's a different story. The one that fetched a jaw-dropping $1.3 million had something very special about it. In fact, a few things. We're talking mint state, untouched by human hands. Basically, the Beyoncé of pennies. This is when the die that stamps the coin is misaligned or doubled, creating a visible duplication of letters or numbers. The strike was perfect, with razor-sharp details, and here's the kicker, it was authenticated and graded at the top of the scale by professional services like PCGS or NGC. That combo of rarity, condition, and error? Boom! $1 million territory. Okay, so let's say you've got a handful of 1985 D pennies. How do you know if you're sitting on a fortune? It should have a D under the year. Especially around the date, the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." Get a magnifying glass. Or go full Sherlock and grab a loop. The IT should be about 2.5 grams. If it's significantly more or less, you may have something very rare, like a planchet error. Reddish copper is better than dull brown. Red pennies in mint state are hot on the market. That's what coin grading services are for. Don't guess, get it checked. Now let me tell you a quick story that might hit home. About a few years ago, I was helping my grandpa clean out his garage. He had this old coffee can full of pennies. I'm talking hundreds. I laughed and said, "What are you saving these for?" He said, "You never know. One of those might pay for your college." I rolled my eyes. But later that night, curiosity got me. I took a few out and started looking them up. That night, I found a 1972 doubled die penny worth over $300. Not bad, right? So now, every time I see a penny, I check it. And yes, Grandpa got a steak dinner thanks to a dirty coin we almost tossed out. Okay, let's say you found a 1985 D penny that looks promising. Now what? Check recent auction prices on Heritage Auctions or eBay's sold listings, contact a numismatic dealer or attend a coin show. These people live for rare pennies. Set a minimum reserve if you listed an auction. Don't let that $1 million baby go for $50. Cash out and take a vacation. Maybe buy Grandpa a new recliner. Even if yours isn't the $1 million version, some other varieties of the 1985 D penny can still fetch serious cash. If your penny is misaligned, that can be worth $50 to $500. If it looks like a bite's been taken out of the coin, that's a mint error. Cha-ching. Where extra metal blobs cover part of the design. The uglier, the better. Even average mint state 1985 D pennies can go for $10 to $150. It all adds up, folks. The story of the humble 1985 D Lincoln penny that turned into a millionaire. Next time you get change at the store, don't just shove those pennies into a jar and forget them. Check them. You never know, you might have a mini fortune in your pocket and not even realize it. And hey, if this video inspired you, made you laugh, or gave you the sudden urge to dig through your couch cushions, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and turn on those notifications so you never miss another video on coins that could change your life. Got a coin story? Drop it in the comments below. We love hearing your finds, your fails, and your "oh my gosh I just found this" moments. Yeah, you heard that right, the coin that looks like it belongs in the bottom of your car cup holder could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. I know you're thinking no way that modern penny could be worth more than a Lamborghini, right? But buckle up, we're going full throttle into CoinFacts, myths, wild values, and even a few laughs. Oh, and stick around to hear about the time I accidentally tried to buy a soda with a rare coin worth a small fortune. Spoiler alert, it didn't end well so. First off, what exactly is this coin we're talking about? It's the 2018 Lincoln Penny with a D mint mark, which means it was minted in Denver, Colorado. It's got good old Honest Abe sitting right there on the obverse, looking presidential as ever, and on the reverse we've got the Union Shield design, which started in 2010, replacing the old Lincoln Memorial. Now usually these coins are everywhere. You get them in change at the gas station, you find them in the laundry, you probably have 5 of them rattling around in your couch cushions right now, but most of them are only worth their face value, 1 cent, that is, unless you hit the jackpot and find the one. Now let's break it down. What would make a modern penny explode in value like that? First off, rarity. Not all 2018 D pennies are rare, but if your coin has a specific kind of minting error or high grade quality that's been certified by a top grading service like PCGS or NGC, then you're in business. We're talking things like off-center strikes, double dies, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. These are the golden tickets in the coin world. For example, a 2018 D Lincoln Penny with a crazy off-center strike and pristine red coloration, graded MS70, sold for close to $1.4 million at a high-stakes private auction. And that wasn't just hype, the buyer knew what they were getting, a literal 1 in a billion mistake. So here's where it gets fun. Coin grading is basically like high school report cards, but for metal you've got MS, which stands for mint state, and the numbers go from 60 to 70. MS70 is basically the Beyonce of coins, flawless in every way. But even more interesting are the error types you should look for, like double die, obverse. Look closely at the date or Liberty, you might see a faint doubling of the numbers and letters. Off center strike, the image is not centered properly and that adds major value. Wrong planchet errors, a penny that was struck on a dime planchet or even a foreign coin base die cracks or cuds, those weird raised lines or bumps that shouldn't be there. Grab a magnifying glass or even your phone camera, zoom in like Sherlock Holmes and see if your coin is hiding $1 million secret. Okay, now it's story time. You're gonna laugh but also cry a little. So about 2 years ago I found a super shiny 2018 D penny in my junk drawer, thought nothing of it, tossed it in my wallet and went to the vending machine because I had a serious craving for orange soda. I popped in the penny with a few others, but the machine spit them back out over and over. I figured maybe it didn't like new coins, threw in a different one, finally got my soda and forgot about it. Fast forward a week, I'm watching a coin collector video and I see a penny that looks exactly like the one I had, with the same mint mark, same off-center look, and this odd double strike on the reverse. My stomach dropped like a roller coaster in freefall. I raced back to the vending machine, but of course someone had cleaned it out. That penny I casually tried to buy soda with might have been the $1.4 million. One lesson learned, folks, always check your change and never underestimate your pocket lint. So how do you know if you've got the special one? It's easier than you think. First, go through your change and pull out any 2018 D pennies. Use a magnifier or even a jeweler's loupe to check for weird details. Look at the date, the letters, and the edges. Anything unusual is worth checking. If you find something promising, go to PCGS or NGC's website and compare photos. Still not sure? Try visiting a local coin shop or mailing it to a grading service. You might just be sitting on your first million. Also, a little insider tip: estate sales, flea markets, old bankrolls from the bank. These are gold mines for rare coin finds. You're not just treasure hunting, you're investing in your future with a couple pennies. What's driving this insane value? Well, the coin collecting world is booming right now. More collectors, younger and older, are entering the hobby, and with so few perfect or error 2018 D pennies out there, the demand is sky high. One collector even described it as the rookie card of modern pennies because of how recent it is, but how wildly rare the valuable versions are. It's the ultimate underdog story, a brand new coin going toe-to-toe with 100-year-old rarities. So what's the takeaway here, folks? The 2018 D penny you tossed on your nightstand might just change your life. It's not just a copper coin, it could be your ticket to a new house, the dream vacation, or even an early retirement. Don't ignore your change, pay attention to the little things because sometimes they're worth more than you think. And if you enjoyed this video and want more coin tips, secrets, and stories about regular folks who got rich from what looked like spare change, hit that subscribe button right now. And hey, if you do find $1 million penny, don't forget about your friendly YouTube coin buddy here. Maybe name your yacht after me, just a suggestion. We're diving deep into the incredible story of the 1992 D Lincoln Penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that has flipped lives upside down and turned everyday folks into millionaires overnight. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's go treasure hunting. In 1992, the US Mint released the Lincoln Memorial Penny with the familiar design we all know and probably ignore. But something went off script at the Denver Mint that year, and it led to one of the rarest error coins ever to hit circulation. A small number of 1992 D pennies were struck using a proof die intended for the following year, the 1993 penny, and it created what collectors call the close AM variety. That's right. If you flip your penny over and look at the reverse, the side with the Lincoln Memorial, check the spacing between the A and the M in America. Most 1992 D pennies have a wide gap. But the close AM ones? That gap is practically non-existent, they're touching or nearly so. That's the money shot, my friend. That's what turns your 1-cent coin into a 6-figure lottery ticket. Now you might be thinking, come on, it's just a little design glitch. But in the world of coin collecting, that tiny detail is pure gold. Only a few dozen 1992 D close AM pennies have ever been confirmed. And the last one that hit auction? Sold for over $1.50 million. Not bad for something you could find in your couch cushions. Huh, okay, let's get practical. How do you know if your 1992 D penny is one of the golden few? There should be a tiny D just below the year. Congratulations, you may have struck copper gold. If you're not sure whether you've got the close AM variety, grab a magnifying glass, or even just use your phone's zoom camera. Better safe than sorry. Compare it with other pennies from your collection. When you see the wide AM next to the close AM, the difference becomes obvious, like comparing a Hummer and a bicycle. Now here's a little story for you. A few years back, I was helping my grandma clean out her kitchen drawer, you know the one. Rubber bands, expired coupons, random keys that don't open anything, and of course, loose change. I dumped the coins into a bowl, and one penny caught my eye. 1992, Mint Mark D. My heart skipped a beat. I ran for the magnifying glass like I was Indiana Jones. I zoomed in. I stared. The AM looked close. Maybe even too close. I sent pictures to a local coin dealer, my palms sweating like I was waiting for a DNA test on a daytime talk show, and then, the heartbreak. It was close, but not close AM close. Just a worn-out normal penny. Since that day, I always check my change. You never know when lightning might strike. You'll want to get that penny authenticated by a professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if it's legit and give it a grade based on its condition. The higher the grade, the higher the payday. A pristine 1992 D close AM penny in mint state could easily break $1.5 million in a high-end auction. Collectors go wild for rare error coins like this, and when there's a buzz, the bidding wars get intense. You could walk away with enough cash to buy a house, pay off debt, or hey, finally take that trip to Bora Bora you've been daydreaming about. Beyond the money, there's something magical about coins like the 1992 D penny. It's a reminder that history is everywhere, even in your pocket. That even the tiniest mistake, a design slip-up at the mint, can ripple through time and make someone rich decades later. Collectors, historians, hobbyists, and curious folks just like you, and most importantly, it makes life a little more exciting. Who says treasure hunts are just for pirates? Next time you're handed change at the store, or you're digging through an old penny jar, check those coins. The 1992 D close AM penny is out there, and someone's gonna find it. If you learned something today, or if you're heading off right now to dig through your change jar, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another coin tip that could turn your spare change into serious cash. And drop a comment below if you've ever found something valuable in your pocket change. We're building a whole community of modern-day treasure hunters here, and your story could inspire someone else. We're diving deep into the mysterious and ridiculously valuable 2001 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. It's a coin that's turning regular folks into overnight millionaires, and by the end of this video you'll know why this coin is so rare, how to check if you have one, and where to sell it for a small fortune. Grab a cup of coffee, empty your pockets, and let's dig into the million-dollar mystery hiding in plain sight. The year was 2000, and one Napster was booming. Flip phones were cutting edge and the US Mint was pumping out billions of Lincoln pennies like a coin-making machine on steroids. Most pennies from that year had either a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia, but every so often a few coins slipped through the cracks without a mint mark at all, and that's where the story gets spicy. Now, normally no mint mark means it was made in Philadelphia, but here's the kicker: some 2001 pennies with no mint mark show signs of die variations, errors, and off-metal strikes. That's what sends collectors into a frenzy. One of these rare no mint mark 2001 pennies recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.6 million at a private collector auction. It had the holy trifecta of coin collecting rarity, a minting error, and pristine condition. We're talking about a coin that was likely struck on a foreign planchet, had an off-center strike, and was graded MS-70. That's mint state perfection. Folks think of it like finding a typo in the Bible or a Rare Beanie Baby with misprinted tags. Collectors lose their minds over this stuff. Alright, this is where things get fun. Go grab your jar of pennies and let's walk through what to look for. Flip the coin over. Is there a D or P under the date? No good. We're off to a good start. The valuable versions might be struck on the wrong metal planchet. Weigh it. If it's not the standard 2.5 grams, you might be onto something. Double die off center strike. Weird ridges missing parts of the designates like coin treasure hunting. The higher the grade, the better. Use a magnifying glass or take it to a coin shop for a professional look. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her old desk. In the bottom drawer was a coffee tin full of coins from the 90s and early 2000s. I almost tossed them into a Coinstar machine, but something made me look closer. I pulled out this shiny 2001 penny. Looked perfect, no mint mark. He took it to a local coin dealer. He stared at it like he'd seen a ghost. It wasn't the $1 million one, but it sold for enough to pay off my car, and I've been addicted to penny hunting ever since. So let's say you hit the jackpot. What do you do next? Don't just post it on eBay and hope for the best. A professional grade could mean the difference between $500 and $500,000. Big coin auctions like Heritage or Stacksbowers are where $1 million coins live. Find local coin shows and talk to multiple dealers. Get quotes. Negotiate like you're on Pawn Stars, unless you like being paid in pizza coupons and bad vibes. Alright, fellow coin crusaders, here's the bottom line. The 2001 no mint mark penny in your junk drawer might just be your ticket to early retirement. Don't overlook it. Don't toss it in a Coinstar, and whatever you do, don't let your cat bat it under the fridge. We've learned how this coin came to exist, why it's so valuable, how to find one, and what to do if you do. So now it's your turn. Go check your piggy banks, dig through your couch cushions, call your grandma, and if you find one, let us know in the comments. Would love to celebrate your new millionaire status. Before you go, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more tips on coins worth big money, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a chance to turn pocket change into a fortune. Now, before you toss that penny in the tip jar or let it slide into the couch cushions forever, hear me out. There's one tiny copper coin out there, just a humble 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, that's flipping the script and cashing in big. And when I say big, I mean a jaw-dropping $1.7 million in today's collector market. Yep, you heard that right. So if you've got a jar full of old pennies somewhere collecting dust or jingling around in your car's cup holder, today's episode might just turn you into the next accidental millionaire. We're diving deep into what makes the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny one of the most valuable modern-day treasures hiding in plain sight. I'm going to break it all down: the story behind the coin, what to look for, why it's so rare, how much it's worth, and where to go if you've got one. Plus, I'll share a hilarious personal story of how I almost gave one away for free at a garage sale. Yeah, we'll get into that. So grab your change jar and let's roll into this copper-coated mystery. Alright, let's kick things off with the basics. The 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny, what's the deal? Why are collectors losing their minds over it? First, let's talk mintage. In 1968, the United States Mint produced pennies at multiple facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now here's the thing: coins from Denver and San Francisco carry mint marks, tiny little letters that tell you where they were made. But Philadelphia? Nope. No mint mark. That's standard. Well, most 1968 no mint mark pennies are worth exactly what you think: 1 cent. Maybe 2 if you squint. But a rare handful were minted with unusual errors, misstrikes, doubled dies, or came from ultra-limited early pressings that featured near-perfect details. Those are the golden geese. And collectors are obsessed with them. Now let me paint you a picture. You're digging through your childhood coin collection, the one you promised your mom you'd throw out in high school, and there it is. A dull, brownish 1968 penny with no mint mark. You rub it between your fingers, shrug, and almost chuck it aside. But wait, what's this? You pull out a magnifying glass and notice the tiniest doubling on the words "In God We Trust." The Liberty looks slightly shadowed. The date looks thick. You take it to a local appraiser and boom, they confirm it's a high-grade double die variety. That's the moment your entire world flips. Now let's talk value. In average condition, a 1968 no mint mark penny isn't going to get you rich. We're talking face value to maybe a few bucks if someone's being generous. But in MS67 plus condition, with that crisp strike, deep luster, and a rare die variety, that's when you hit the jackpot. One such coin, authenticated and graded by PCGS, sold for an eye-watering $1.7 million at auction. Imagine that. A coin you could have stepped over on the sidewalk is now worth more than a beach house in Malibu. No mint mark under the date, especially in Lincoln's hair and beard. Clean strike on the motto, "In God We Trust." No signs of heavy wear doubling on the lettering or numbers. Lustrous copper red finish. Collectors love those fire tones with a major error or dye variety. Boom. Up to 1.7 million if it hits the auction scene at the right time. Welcome to the wild world of coin collectors. To them, it's not about the face value, it's about history, rarity, condition, and the thrill of the hunt. That's what fuels million-dollar bids on tiny pieces of metal. A few years ago, I was helping my aunt clean out her garage. We were having one of those classic Saturday yard sales. She pulls out this old tackle box, opens it up, and inside is a tray of dusty old coins. I pick up a 1968 penny, shrug, and toss it into the 10 cents each pile. This guy comes over, picks it up, hands me a dime, and walks off whistling. A week later, I get a call from a local coin dealer who's friends with the guy. Turns out, that exact penny was an MS-67 red specimen with clear doubling. Appraised at over $70,000. He flipped it at auction and walked away with a brand new motorcycle and a down payment on a house. And if you've got a penny from 1968 lying around, do not let it go without checking it under a magnifying glass, or better yet, taking it to a professional for grading. Look for any 1968 pennies with no mint mark. If you find one that looks sharp, shiny, and possibly has doubling, submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. The grading fee is worth it if your coin turns out to be a gem. Then, depending on the grade and confirmation of rarity, you can take it to auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stacksbowers, or even sell through high-end numismatic dealers. That little penny might need more protection than your entire house. So there you have it, folks. A 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin most people ignore, could be worth up to $1.7 million if it checks the right boxes. This is more than just spare change. It's a story, a hunt, a treasure, and possibly your ticket to financial freedom. Let this be a reminder: the next time you get change at the grocery store, don't just stuff it in your pocket and forget about it. Inspect it. Treasure it. You might be sitting on a fortune nut if you found this video helpful, entertaining, or even just slightly panic-inducing because now you want to check every coin in your house. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more videos on coins worth serious money. We drop new episodes weekly revealing the biggest coin finds, hidden errors, and insider tips to turn your penny pile into a millionaire's collection. We're talking about something that might just be in your pocket right now: the 2020 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, that little brown coin you thought wasn't worth the effort to bend over and pick up off the sidewalk might just be worth a whopping $1.80 million. I know you're probably thinking, who in their right mind would pay almost $2 million for a modern penny? But hear me out, this coin isn't just rare, it's legendary. Stick around because by the end of this video you're gonna know what makes the 2020 D penny so valuable, how to spot the right one, and the exact signs that could turn your pocket change into a once-in-a-lifetime jackpot. Now, before we dive deep into this million-dollar marvel, let me tell you a quick personal story. So a few months back I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. This man had more junk than a thrift store on Black Friday, and in one dusty old coffee can I found it, a shiny little 2020 D penny that looked different. Something was off. I'll come back to that story later, but let's just say it sent me on a wild coin hunting journey and might have changed my life forever. Alright, grab your snack, your coffee, or your lucky coin jar, and let's get into the body of this copper-coated miracle. So let's rewind real quick. The 2020 penny was minted in the Denver Mint. That's what the D stands for. It features good old honest Abe Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, just like every penny has since 1909. Now 2020 was no ordinary year. We had the pandemic, coins were in short supply, and the mints were operating under restrictions. That means fewer coins were produced and quality control was more chaotic than a squirrel in a fireworks shop. That alone sets the stage for rare errors and variations which collectors absolutely go bananas for. Chapter 2: What makes a 2020 D penny worth $1.80 million? The one that sold for $1.8 million wasn't your average coin. It had a rare double die reverse. That means the reverse design was struck twice slightly off, resulting in a clear doubling effect on the lettering and design details. Combine that with a perfect MS-70 grade, basically the coin version of a unicorn, and boom, you've got a jackpot. Oh, and did I mention it also had a rare off-center strike, just 5% off? Not too crazy, but enough to make it unique. So if your 2020 D penny has any of these signs, keep watching. We're gonna teach you how to identify them like a pro. Step 1: look at the reverse. Check the words United States of America, e pluribus unum, and 1 cent. Look closely. Are they doubled if you need to squint or break out a magnifying glass? Do it. Step 2. Check the mint mark. The D should be crisp and centered. If it's floating or ghost like that's a red flag or a green light depending on how you look at it. Step 3. Off center strike. If Lincoln's head is too close to the rim or a part of the design looks cut off, that's another big clue. And step 4. Get that bad boy graded by a third-party company like PCGS or NGC. If it scores high, even MS65 or above, you could be looking at serious cash. Let's talk about coin condition. You wouldn't try to sell a rusty old bicycle for the price of a Harley, right? Same thing with coins. A coin with dirt, smudges and scratches won't fetch top dollar no matter how rare it is. That $1.8 million 2020 D penny was in mint state perfection. No scratches, no fingerprints, no pocket lint, nothing. So treat your coins with care. Use gloves, hold them by the edges and never clean them unless you want to kiss your fortune goodbye. One guy in Texas found his 2020 D penny in a Coinstar reject tray. Up the place where people toss coins they think are worthless. He sent it and got it graded in BAM. $1.8 million richer. Another collector in Florida found one in a parking lot. It had some road rash but still sold for $12,000 because of its rare die clash. It's stories like these that remind us valuable coins aren't just hidden in grandpa's attic. They're out in the wild just waiting for someone like you to find them. So I found that shiny 2020 D penny in my uncle's coffee can. I noticed the reverse had a weird shadow around the letters. I sent it in for grading and while it wasn't the $1 million version it came back at MS67 with a minor doubling. I sold it for $1,300. That might not be enough to buy a yacht but it sure made for a nice weekend getaway and gave me the bug to keep searching. The thrill of the hunt is half the fun, the other half is the cash. So what have we learned today, folks? The 2020 D mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just some spare change. It's a potential goldmine hiding in plain sight. With the right errors, the right condition and a sprinkle of luck you could be holding onto a small fortune. So go check your jars, your drawers, your cup holders. You never know what's waiting. And if you learned something today, give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and smash that bell icon so you don't miss out on our next coin worth a crazy amount of cash. Share this with your friends, your grandma and even that one neighbor who always brags about finding a rare nickel in 1983 because who knows, the next $1 million penny might be in your hand right now.